Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Making an Impact with the Zebu Nation. And today we have for you another very special episode. This is our playoff episode where we are in the semi-finals of the Eastern Conference playoffs. Right back where we were last season. Last season, we played against the number one team in the conference, Atlanta United. This year, we're playing the 2019 best team in the Eastern Conference, and that is the Columbus Crew. They finished fourth in the Supporters Shield, but number one in our conference. That shows you how good the Western Conference is. Now, we'll talk about the Crew in a minute, but before we do that, let's take a look at the rest of the league, including that Western Conference, and see how we got here. See how the playoffs are shaping up. So, in the Eastern Conference, we finished 5th place, sort of in the middle of the pack there, but good enough to make the wild card round. And in that wild card round, we beat Philadelphia Union 4-4, but penalty shootout, and it was a crazy game. But all of our games this year against Philadelphia have been crazy games. Hopefully you saw some of them this season. Hopefully you go back and watch our game, our wild card game. It was just, crazy shootout, goals galore. It's pretty awesome. Now, on the other side of the bracket, New England beat Atlanta United 3-1, so that got them out of the wild card round in the Eastern Conference. On the Western Conference, Seattle beat Minnesota 4-2, and Sporting KC put an end to the FC Dallas dynasty, 1-1 penalties. FC Dallas, last 3 years in a row, they have won some sort of championship, whether it's Supporters Shield or MLS Cup, they've won it. So you got to give props for FC Dallas for putting on that huge run, but their run has ended as Sporting KC puts them out of the playoffs this season. So that brings us to today's games, I guess. Today's and tomorrow's. Anyway, we got Montreal, that's us, versus Columbus. On the Western Conference side of things, we got Sporting KC versus the Houston Dynamo. Our opponents in the Eastern Conference will be New England, the winner of New England or the Red Bulls. And then, of course, the other team in the Western Conference, LA Galaxy, the number one team in the entire league. They won the Supporters Shield this year. They'll be taking on Seattle Sounders. So here we are, Eastern Conference semifinals. I think it's shaping up to be pretty good. You got basically the top 4 teams in the conference. I mean, we snuck in there a little bit, but New York has been pretty good all season, as has New England. Columbus, of course, was number 1 in the Eastern Conference from start to finish, so they've been by far the best team in the league. And then, of course, Montreal, we snuck in there, but, we got a pretty good team, too. So let's take a look at our opponent for today, the Columbus Crew. It's been a while since they've had this good of a season. You can see back in 2015, they finished 4th in the Supporters Shield. So that's pretty much where they're at right now. But in terms of championships, it's been since 2009 since they've had any championships. Eastern Conference champion they were in 2009. They also won the Supporters Shield that year. They won the MLS Cup the year before. So Columbus is a team with a lot of championship history, but it's just not recently. I mean, 2009 is actually 10 years ago as we speak. So, their fans are a little bit anxious. Of course, there's that drama of will the Crew get moved out of Columbus and sent to Texas. It's what the rumors are at the moment. But for now, Football Manager doesn't have any of that stuff in it. So the Crew in this universe don't have to worry about it. They just got to worry about beating the Montreal Impact. Now let's take a look at what's Columbus done this year. What have they done in terms of transfers? Those are their trades. So for trades, they gave up a few things. They got the first pick in the MLS Super Draft. Wonder who they used that on. That's very interesting to me. So they picked up a really good player. It's a good move for Columbus. And then they picked up another draft pick for next year, and then they traded away a couple of their lower round draft picks in the next couple of years to get an international slot. So it's pretty good maneuvers here by Columbus Crew. And in terms of their regular transfers, look at this. They brought in a ton of players. They lost a few, but nobody too important. But they did. They brought in a ton of players. And this is what an MLS transfer record should look like. I mean, you don't need to spend a ton of money to bring in your mid-level players or even your young players or your low-level players. Like, you can bring them in other ways. They got a lot of draft picks this season. They brought up a guy from their academy. They brought in some guys on the free. So they really just bolstered the middle of their roster. You look at their registration right now. They got 26 players on the squad. They've got, a good number of players in all of these different roster slots. And I don't know why the GM for the Columbus Crew can figure this out, whereas the guys for New York City and Philadelphia and places like that can't figure it out. Like, the AI should be able to just look at these roster slots and say, okay, I'm just going to fill these roster slots. Going to get some off-budget players, going to get some internationals, going to get some homegrown players, and just, fill out the roster that way, and then have a little bit of fun in the transfer market. But you only need to spend money at the top end. So if you've already got all of your designated players and your top-end players that you need, you don't need to spend money. And it looks like Columbus has done things pretty wisely. Go look at their senior squad here. Their leading goal scorer is Zardes, but he is injured for 3 weeks, so we're not going to have to worry about him. Pedro Santos is their next leading goal scorer, inside forward. He's on the bench right now for some reason. I don't know if that's going to stay, but he's one of their designated players, so you'd think that he would actually be playing against us. But you know what? If maybe he's tired, maybe he needs a rest. I don't know. We'll see that come game time. But they got Filipovic, who scored some goals from the mid... No, is he midfield? I thought he was midfield. Yeah, he's a defensive midfielder. So for a defensive midfielder to have 5 goals, that's pretty good. Looks like they got him playing defense right now. That's interesting. Lucas Chakana in the midfield, he's also got 5 goals. So they've spread their goals out this season, but they don't really have a ton of goals. So we got to think that Columbus has been doing things on defense this season. And if you look at the games we played against them, they've been fairly defensive games. Let's see, we got a 2-2 draw and then a 2-1 loss. So they've managed to score 2 goals against us in each game, but it hasn't been, any sort of goal fest like the way it was against Philadelphia. So hopefully, I'm thinking that we might be able to keep things low against Columbus, keep them off the scoreboard, especially if Zardes is out, which he is. I think that's the plan going into this game versus Columbus. We're going to try to hold the ball, control the ball, and not mess around too much, not go crazy like we did against Philadelphia. We knew we could score goals against Philadelphia, but we don't necessarily have that same confidence against Columbus. So let's take a look at our own tactics and see what are we going to do. Well, first of all, we got some problems. We got some red on the ledger here. Piet suspended from his crazy tackle in the last game, so get out of here, Piet. And then Jeshem Vargas, injured. Twisted right ankle. He's going to be out for 4 weeks, so get out of here, Vargas. We're going to have to bring in some new players, but that's fine. We got a lot of depth. We're going to bring in Yaya Toure, play that deep line playmaker. That's his best position. And then, of course, we've got Petrasso on the left-hand wing we can bring in. That's pretty good. So on the bench today, we're going to have Jackson Amell, Mane, we're going to have Nasco, Jared Watts is going to be in there, sort of a versatile dude, Rick Tran, Carl Salmon, and we're going to have Crapeau on the bench. He's not going to be a starter for us today. Going to continue that. And we're going to, I think, submit this team. Is that what we're doing? Yeah, there we are. We're going to submit this team. We're going to try to control the ball, control the pace, and, you know, not get crazy against Columbus. The first game is at home. If we can keep them scoreless or keep them to 1 goal even, I think that would be pretty good. That would be, you know, definitely what we want. And then when we go to the away leg, then we can go crazy and go after the goals and go back to our normal 4-2-4 and try to win this leg, get to the next round, which we haven't been to yet. One step closer to winning that championship. Looks like New York beat New England 2-1 in the first leg. And then on the other side, Houston beat Sporting KC 3-2. So if we get that kind of score, if we get the 2-1 type of score, I think we'd be okay. Either way. I mean, I guess if we lose 2-1, that wouldn't be so good. But it wouldn't be insurmountable. So we're just going to try to keep the score low. Try to win the game. But if we don't, at least keep the score down. So we are 6-4 favorites. That seems interesting. We're both on inconsistent form. 1 win in our last 5. Last 6 games, we've won 2, been 3 draws and 1 win for Columbus. So maybe we have Columbus's number a little bit over the last few seasons. We have 3 unregistered players. That seems unreasonable. Oh, that's because we got some loan players back. That's why. A Fool is injured and unregistered. Zardes is out, so they got some serious problems. We got a few problems, but, you know, nothing that is insurmountable for us. So let's go. Submit this team. Proceed to the match. All right. This is the time of year that you live for as an MLS coach and player and fan and all that stuff. And yep, Columbus is going very defensive. They're going with the 4-1-4-1. The lone striker up top of the defensive midfielder. They are very, very defensive. So we're going to have to figure that out. Meanwhile, we've got Lutweiler in goal. Taylor and Duverne at the fullbacks. So our big central defender type fullbacks, not necessarily guys who are going to go after it. But anyway, Giger and Cabrera in the central defense. Toure and Andre and Pace in the midfield. Petrasso, Romero on the wings, and Kyle Larin up top as our lone striker. Get to the dressing room and give the pep talk. Let's see. Go out there and impress me, I guess? No, nobody cares about that. Opposition instructions. These are going to be interesting. What does Wilfred have to say? He's got a lot to say. He always does. He's a good man, a good coach. All right, here we go. I'm going to close down on Chicana, that's for sure. Close down on Santos, no doubt. And then I guess Giao. Close down on him. See what else we need to do. So last game, those wingers, you know, they caused us some problems. So hopefully this game we can keep track of them and keep them under control. Enzo Recoba from Goal.com approaches you in the tunnel. The absence of Piet is sure to be felt. How hard will it be without his services? It would be nice to have him, but we can deal with things as best we can. Get out of here. So here we are, Saputo Stadium. They got it right this year. Last year, they had the stadiums mixed up. They had our home stadium as the away stadium and the away stadium as the home stadium. It was crazy. But this year, they seem to have it correct, so that's good. All right. First highlight, we got a full crowd. Nice steal. Petrasso gets it to Toure, and we end the first highlight. This is okay. This is fine. We're on control. We just want to hold the ball, not let them do stuff like this. Williams, that was an interesting throw. Gets it out to Trapp. Intercepted by Pace. Gets it up to Kyle Larin. Let's go. On the attack. Larin gets tackled, but Romero has it. Centers to Andre. Andre, I don't know if that was a shot, but something happened there. It was just a complete scuff. I've never seen one that bad. But here we are, Martinez to Santos for the Crew. He's sort of dribbling wildly. Gets tackled by Duverne. I don't know what his first touch is, but it's not good. But he manages to get by our defense. That was some awful, awful play that was rewarded by Columbus. So they get their away goal. It's exactly what we wanted to avoid. Duverne, he makes 2 tackles, but then Santos keeps with it. And I don't know what our central defense is doing, but they are not paying attention. We're going to get hostile here and demand more. That's no good. I mean, it was an awful turn of events right there. So now Columbus can just sit back and do what they do, which is hold on to leads, unfortunately for us. All right. Here we go. This is the highlight we're looking for. Taylor with the throw-in on the far side. Gets it to Toure. Centers to Petrasso. Petrasso centers to Andre. Stefan with the stop. It was a good play, though. Cabrera's a little frustrated. Can't blame him. All right, 21 minutes down. Huh. Look at this. Columbus is slow playing it. Stefan sends it downfield. Santos has it again. Gets it forward. Nope. Intercepted by Cabrera. He's got nobody to get it to, really. Giao on the outside. Gets it to Artur. Abubakar down the sideline to Williams, who's suddenly getting forward. Giao again. These wingers causing us problems, but Cabrera is there. Will Trapp has it up to Giao. There's a good interception. Andre has it now. Andre to Romero. Romero sends it forward to Kyle Aaron. What can he do with it? He's going to go 1 on a million here. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. He's just going to... Supposed to be retaining possession here, boys. Oh, we're not on control. We're on standard. What happened? So our tactics were off from the very beginning. That's good. That's good to know. Had this whole strategy set where we were going to try to control the ball, hold on to it, and suddenly we forget the game plan. We left the game plan at the hotel. Forgot all about it. All right. Here's Columbus. Good tackle by Andre. Toure is going to start things off. Let's go, boys. Our midfielders are like 3 feet apart. I really wish they would spread out a little bit. Duverne gets it to Toure. We're going to matriculate the ball a little bit here. Pace has it now. Drops it back to Jaguar. Back to Pace. Let's go. I mean, I know I said, oh, there's Romero. He's got Kyle Aaron. That's a goal. Yeah, no, it's not a goal. That wasn't the best cross. That should have been a goal. I really hate mixed crosses, honestly. I like whipped crosses. I should probably just set that as the default. But we do have some big target men, so. Sometimes the floated crosses can be good, but not today. Pace has a slight injury. He's fine, though. 66% is okay. 2 minutes of stoppage time is over, so there you go. Very unsuccessful first half. Now we held the scoring down. Unfortunately, we didn't hold their scoring down below ours. So we now have to come back, get a goal. Show me something else in the second half, dunderheads. Let's see, what do we got here for analysis? Pace has an injury. That's bruised foot. That's okay. It's Space between our defense and our midfield is too big. Yeah, nothing we can do about that. I mean, I don't know that there's anything to be done at the moment. So let's just start the second half. Let's just try to play better. How about that? Just do better. There's my halftime speech. Get good, essentially. Andre gets it forward. Romero loses it, though. Not an auspicious start to the half. 49 minutes. Clock is just rolling now. We're gonna have to make changes. If nothing happens, might have to go 4-2-4 and try to win it, but I don't know. Here's Will Trapp, gets it forward. Martinez. Duverne with a good interception there. Don't mess it up. Cabrera. Lutweiler. All right. I don't know what's going on here, but I don't know that I like it. Pace. Oh, here we go. Here's Kyle Larin on the run. He's all by himself. He's up against 5 defenders. He went wide for some reason. Gets tackled. Romero recovers it, though. Nope, loses it. Highlight continues. Toure. Drop it back. So this is sort of the results of us being on retained possession, as the guys are not making too many big moves. Kyle Larin, oh, great pass to Romero. Oh, man. The captain comes through. That's why I started him in the playoffs. He's got a little bit more composure, a little bit more experience than the rest of our wingers. So this was just a good buildup of play. Toure, good pass to Petrasso. Larin, just a great pass finding Romero on the backside. And then Romero with the confident finish. Here we go, another highlight. Throw in. Petrasso gets it back. Toure centers to Andre. Pace forward to Kyle Larin. Is he going to connect with Romero again? No, he's just going to shoot it. That's fine, though. I don't mind Kyle Larin taking shots. Duverne to Pace. Pace gets brutally tackled, and here comes Columbus on the counterattack. Chicano out wide. Not much of an attempt there. 1-1. Is that a good enough result? I think it's okay. I mean, if we could go ahead, if we could get, actually win the game, 2-1, 3-1 would be nice. But anyway. Let's see. Andre's looking a bit tired. "63 minutes down. If we don't make any changes, I think this is what we're going to get. I think we're going to get 1-1. I can kind of live with that. We'll go for the second leg to sort of, we are the underdogs here, so we do kind of have to be a little conservative. Pace is now injured. Okay. All right, so what do we do here? Toure is looking a little tired. Andre is looking real tired. Cabrera has not played well in central defense, so we might have to make some changes there. I think what we'll do is we'll bring in Nasco for Andre. All right, he can play. Maybe not. But Watts for Andre? Definitely not. I thought Nasco could play midfield. A little bit, I guess. Carolero is his best support role. Link the defensive midfield area with the attacking midfield area. No, I think I'll keep him at ball-winning midfield because he's got that tackling ability. So we'll just let him go out there, run around, and tackle. And then what I think I'll do is I'll move Duvern down to central defense, bring Salmon on, see if he can make a difference there in the backfield. And then we got one more change left if we decide to go attacking or defending or whatever. All right, here's Santos with a free kick just outside the box. Chicano with the... Chicano. Yeah, 80 minutes down. So for the last 5 minutes, do we want to go 4-2-4? Maybe not. Here's Toure. Centers to Romero. Ooh, got one on target. That was a good shot. So if we can score one here, then forget about it. But Nasco gets it forward. Oh, that was almost an own goal. Well, we're going to get a corner out of it. That would have been a crazy way for Columbus to lose it. There's Artur. Gets it out to Romero, and the highlight ends. So maybe we'll go a little bit more. You know, we'll just go attacking, see what that does for us. For the last 5 minutes of that game, that's not such a bad idea, I don't think. We can hit play though. That would be an even better idea. Toure's still looking a little tired, but you know, we're going to keep him in there because we basically have no choice. Unless we're going to take him out to switch to the 4-2-4, which I don't think so, but that would be our option if he gets injured or something. 4 minutes of stoppage time. All right, here we go. Let's get one in stoppage time. How about that? Give us a stoppage time goal. I don't think so. 30 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds to go. This is going to be just a bland highlight, and there we go. First leg, 1-1 draw at home. They got the away goal, unfortunately. So they really can just park the bus in their home game. If they weren't planning on parking the bus before, they're going to park the bus now for sure. Let's go to the dressing room. How did we do ratings-wise? Jaguar played a... No, not Jaguar. Taylor played a heck of a second half, 7.2 rating. Duvern also played very well in the second half, 7.1 rating. Romero, 8.0 with the goal in the second half. Cabrera played poorly for some reason. You know, he's probably going to get replaced in central defense next year. I don't know that we're going to re-sign him. I don't know that we're going to keep him around. You know, that's a definitely question for the offseason is do we keep Cabrera around or not? Maybe as a substitute. But, I mean, with Jaguar coming on, with all the young central defenders we've got, with the guy we picked up at the mid-season transfer window who's going to be making his way into the lineup. It's just, I think Cabrera, especially with performances like this in the playoffs, I think he's going to get squeezed out. You were unlucky. How about that? Okay. I didn't want to say I'm proud of him because I wasn't really proud of him. But, you know, unlucky is good enough. All right. So Columbus hold out for the draw. So the press is looking at it as a positive for Columbus. They got their away goal. They got a draw. So I guess they got, you know, some positives for sure. But we're not behind the 8 ball. We're not too far down. All we need is one away goal, and we're back in this thing. So we'll come back next episode for the second leg, and we'll, you know, stretch this out a little bit, get a few more playoff episodes to come. So until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.